Hello you lot. This is a little nitro engine. I thought we could go through how you can unblock the carb on your little nitro engine to get it running. If your engine's not running or it won't start or something like that, chances are you've probably got a blockage. I'm going to tell you how you can find out if you have got a blockage and how you can get rid of it. So this is a pretty generic nitro engine. It's a 3.5 out of a Savage 21. Bit dirty, but that'll be okay. It's got your 3 needle carb on it, but the process that we're going to go through will be the same for a 2 needle carb or a 3 needle carb. It's all the same sort of stuff. So let's get the carb off and have a look at it. So this is what we've got. Now you don't need to take the carb off of your engine in order to do what we're going to do, but I'm going to take it off so that you can see a bit better what exactly I'm doing and what I'm trying to tell you. So if you do want to take your carb off, you've just got to look. You haven't got to take it all the way out. I didn't mean to take that all the way out. You just got to look. Sometimes it'll be a nut go onto a stud. Other times it'll be a bolt like that one. Take that off. It normally be on the side of your engine block, maybe that side or this side. Just look for it. That's the tick over screw there. That is the one that takes the carb off. And then you just have to give it a bit of a twist, a bit of a wiggle. If it's been on there for a long time, it'll probably be well and truly seated. Give it a wiggle and it'll come off like that. And then you can also see down into your crankshaft to do an inspection if you need to. This one's a bit loose. This is what we're looking at. This is the carb, and you can have a bit of a closer look there. I know this one's particularly dirty, but this is just an old engine that I had on the shelf that I took off the Savage 21 many years ago, so it's just stayed dirty. So there's several needles what we need to be looking at. The most common one, which gets blocked up, and the one that is usually the culprit of an engine that won't start, is the high-speed needle. A lot of people seem to go with the low-speed needle because they think that because this is the one that controls the RPMs at low speed, tick over, and as it pulls away, this is the one that's blocked. Not usually the case, because the fuel goes in here, straight into where the high-speed needle is. This is the one which usually gets blocked. So what you need to do is you need to get rid of any dirt and then take off the high-speed needle. So for cleaning the carb, you can use actual proper carb cleaner, which you can buy in shops. Normally comes in cans like this one. You can buy it in big bottles to put in spray bottles like this one. Just buy yourself a can of carb cleaner, or you can use brake cleaner and put it in one of these spray things you pump up, which is what I've got. Or you can buy brake and clutch cleaner in a can like this. If you want to buy a smaller quantity of it, you can also get it in different sized cans. This one's for bikes. Brake cleaner would do exactly the same thing. I've been using brake cleaner on carbs for 20 odd years and there's no problem. So we can just squirt some of it on there and that will blast away all of the dirt. That will get rid of a lot of that dirt there. And it just stops most of it from going in to where the needle is. Now, you don't have to take this off. I suppose we'll start from what you could do. Let me just get a piece of fuel line so that I can demonstrate. So, you could, one of the first things that you should do, so this is your fuel line that goes in. Around about here somewhere is your tank. Well, probably not, probably about here somewhere is your tank. So you can take this off, just pretend that this is the end which goes onto the fuel tank, and blow down it. Now obviously my one's not blocked, but pretend that it is blocked. You can't blow down it. You can suck. Sometimes you'll be able to suck the blockage through and you'll be well away. It goes without saying, make sure that you suck with your mouth and not your lungs, and only suck in little bits so that you don't accidentally suck up any nitro fuel. Now, if you blowed on this as hard as you can and you can't get it to unblock, make sure the throttle is wide open to allow maximum, just maximum space, I suppose, and you can't blow through it. Now, if you've got compressed air, go and get your compressor, stick the air gun on the end and try to blow through it. Make sure the throttle's wide open. If you still can't blow through that and you've come to the conclusion you've got a blockage, one last thing to try: get your brake cleaner or carb spray and have a little thing on the end. Put that on the end of there like that and squirt it. You should see it start to come up and go through. That's unblocking the carb. Now this stuff will dissolve most blockages. It'll certainly dissolve nitro jelly, so will carb spray, and it'll dissolve other bits of dirt. So the chances are, if you spray some of that in there and then put the tube back on like that, and then you blow through it, you'll be able to unblock it. That's usually the way. It's quite rare that I have to take one of these apart. But if you still can't get it to unblock and it's still blocked, go and get yourself a spanner. And once you've got a spanner, this has got what some people call hexagons on it, and you can just undo that. There's no need to take out the needle itself. If you wanted to take the needle out, because obviously if you do that you'll be losing your tune. If you wanted to take the needle out, you can do so, but put a little mark there and there, and then turn it in and count how many turns until fully in, and then you know how many turns you need to turn it out once you've removed it. So you remove it, you do your work, you unblock it, you put the needle all the way in, and then you turn it out the amount of turns that you counted. But there's no need to do that. We can just unscrew this part, and that way you don't lose your tune. Now we can see whether our needle is blocked. Those little holes, that little hole there, that little hole on the other side, and that little hole on the end, we can blow through it. If we can't blow through it, we know it's blocked. We should be able to blow through there and it will come out these holes. We can spray some brake cleaner, carb spray, all up in those little holes there and try to get rid of the blockage. If you suspect the blockage is further down, well, it won't be. It could be in there. You can take that off. Be careful because there is a little gasket on there. So you do need to be mindful of that you need to make sure that seals afterwards. You can take that off and you can see in there better, but you shouldn't need to take that off. You can see quite clearly whether that's blocked or not. You can see daylight through the end. We know this one's not blocked. If you can't see daylight, you know the blockage is in there. So now there's not going to be any block in there really. If you suspect that this is blocked, you'll need to take out the mid-speed needle. You can just take that out and then this will all be clear, and you'll be able to unblock the mid-speed needle, but you won't need to do that. Put that back on the way that it came, get your high-speed needle and screw that back on. Make sure this is facing the way that you need it to face. You can have that facing any direction you want, it won't matter. But obviously if it's the way that it was before, that's probably the way you're going to want it to go. You could always improve it by putting it in a better place. You might not have realised before that you can change the direction of the little fuel pipe. You can have it in any direction you want. give it a little nip. Don't tighten it up too tight, just nip it and that will do the trick. If you tighten it too tight, you risk crushing the gaskets. You also risk damaging the threads in either the carburetor itself or for the jet. So if you wanted to take out this needle, you just have to unscrew it. Again, screw it all the way in and then screw it out. Just bear with me, I'll go and get a screwdriver. So if you suspect a blockage is on the mid-speed needle, make a little mark. I'm using this little mark here as a reference, and count the turns. Half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 3.5 turns in. So I know that I've got to go 3.5 turns out. Now I can remove the needle altogether. And take that out. Now we can see in there completely. It's probably best that you did this with the high speed needle off, but it doesn't really matter what way you do it. Make sure the little rubber O-rings, as you can see there, are still intact and look quite healthy. Those little holes are the ones you want to make sure aren't blocked. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 holes or 3 holes, and there's one in the end. Make sure they're not blocked, blow through them. These ones definitely aren't blocked. Squirt a little bit of brake cleaner or carb spray and you should see them come out of those holes. If it is blocked and you can see that it's blocked, do what I've just done. Spray the carb spray in there and it will blow it out of these holes. Again, compressed air will also do the same. I have got compressed air, but I didn't fire the compressor up for this because the people that have asked me to show how to clean a carburetor asked for it without compressed air. But if you have got compressed air, it is a massive help. So there we go. Half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. It was 3.5, wasn't it? I think. Now, it's unlikely that the low speed needle was going to be blocked because that just does that. See that long point inside the carb there? That is the low speed needle. And that goes inside the mid speed. And that creates, well, it meters how much fuel goes through. So you don't need to worry about the low speed. And that's pretty much it, you lot. That is, there's not a lot to these carbs whatsoever. So if you suspect that you've got a blockage, do that kind of stuff and you will definitely unblock it. If your engine still won't run after you've cleaned this out, you've got a problem. I suggest that you go to one of the other videos I've done on how to get a nitro engine started and how to troubleshoot what the issue is and try to work out what you can do to get it to run. But nitro engines are a very, very simple engine. There's very small, there's hardly any parts to them. So it's only going to be a small number of things stopping it from running. Hope that helped you lot. Enjoy life. Enjoy nitro. Remember, they're simple. Don't get yourself stressed over it. I'll catch you on the next one. All the best.